Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I wanted to say a few words about pay-per-view because it's made videos on this subject before, and to be honest with you, some things bear repeating. Look, a lot of people are moaning about pay-per-view. They're saying that the market is saturated and so on and so forth. Now, as I've said before, I haven't bought a pay-per-view since 1996, and that was the Mike Tyson-Evander Holyfield rematch. And I just thought, I'm not having this anymore. I'm not doing it. And I missed a lot of good matches. Instead, I'd have to buy them on the old VHS tapes and after the fact and watch them that way. But I just thought, I'm not giving them my money anymore. You know, you pay a TV license. This was back in 96. You pay a TV license. You get your Sky subscription or whatever it is. You know, your Sky Sports. Then you've got to pay pay-per-view. I said, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. So, pay-per-view carried on. It died a death. Pretty much, I'm talking about the UK, not America. In America, it's a different story. It's like, you know, the UK fleecing of the public times 4, times 5, maybe times 6. But in Britain, pay-per-view died a death when Audley Harrison fought David Haye, and the market it's such a farcical fight that the market was put on hold. Let's put it that way. It had to be rebuilt. It had to be kick-started. And who kick-started it? None other than Eddie Hearn and Matchroom at Sky. And the way they did it was with Bellew versus Cleverly 2. Now, that fight was garbage. We know that. That was the rematch, not the original Bellew-Cleverly contest. But what they did was they charged, I think it was 12 or 15 quid. You know, put it in the comments if you can remember the exact amount. But it wasn't it was about, you know, half or maybe 55% of what you now pay for, say, Fury Chisora. But what they did was they stacked the card. And it was a very, very good card for 12 or 15 quid or whatever it was. And that was really dipping your toes in the water. That was Hearn sort of seeing how it went. Come on, it's only 15 quid, you know, 3, 4 you get together. It's just a few quid each. And look at this card we've got, you know, regardless of whether you like the main event. Look, you've got all these great fights on the undercard. Yeah, very, very good card indeed. And people watching, they were like, yeah, I'll have more of that. And they paid their money. They paid their pay-per-view. And then gradually the pay-per-views started to get more and more and more. Purses became inflated. The only way to pay for purses is to have pay-per-view. DAZN came along. Hearn said, well, this is the death of pay-per-view. No, it's not, because DAZN are now doing pay-per-views. And gradually, inevitably, the price went up. Okay? You had Frank Warren, that stinking hypocrite. What an absolute hypocrite Frank Warren is. Slagging off Eddie Hearn for, you know, introducing pay-per-view for non-world title fights. And then, of course, we've now got to the point where Warren and Tyson Fury, because he's equally as culpable, are charging, you know, a record pay-per-view price in Britain for a complete farcical mismatch with an atrocious undercard, which was Fury Chisora 3. An unnecessary fight, a mismatch, a disgusting mismatch, and a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace that amount of money was charged for that, for a fight that should have been just a warm-up on BT Sports, you know. But no, Fury's a big name, so we're going to milk the market. We're going to fleece it to the bone, having only 5, 6, 7 years earlier slagged Hearn off for actually putting on some very good quality cards, even though whether you agree with pay-per-view or not. So we now have Warren saying, when Usyk, if Usyk, we assume that Usyk and Fury will fight, the price will be even more than, was it 27 quid for Chisora Fury 3? So it'll probably be 30 quid. So in the space of, 9 years, we're talking about going from 15 quid to the price doubling. And it will continue to go up as long as people pay or feel they have to pay. Cost of living crisis, don't worry about it. You know, we're going to charge you 30 quid, whatever it's going to be. Maybe 35 for Usyk Fury. Because we're men of the people, you know. Remember old Warren? It's the fans. Let's do it for the fans. What an absolute hypocrite, two-faced bastard. And Fury's no better, of course. Yeah, I'll fight for free. I'll fight. You know, I'll fight Joshua for free. I'll give 7 million quid to charity. Usyk, I'll have 500 million quid, please. I'm a man of the people. Chisora, no, 27 quid to watch me fight this Chisora for the third time, even though he's, you know, the typical war-torn battle horse. No. I want 27 quid to watch him or to fight him, for you to watch me fight him. The privilege of watching the Gypsy King, the man of the people, a lot of bollocks. And now we've got, on the other side, we've got, you know, Sky. They're into it, of course. £20 to watch. Is it 20 quid to watch Liam Smith and Eubank Jr., which should just be a standard fight night? Look, this is going to go on and on and on. They're going to, as long as they can get away with it, with increasing prices for less worthy product, they will do so. So what's the answer? The answer is very simple. You say no. And in this day and age, unlike back in 1996, when I decided I'd had enough of pay-per-view, you won't have to wait for, you know, fights to be sent to you on VHS tapes or DVDs. If you were, DVDs weren't even around. Well, in 96 they probably were around, but I was still on the VHS tapes. You know, you don't have to wait for that. You can watch these fights live. You can stream them. And before any of you start saying, oh, you know, you're taking money out of the pockets of the fighters, don't be such a mug. Don't be a slave glad of your chains. Don't be someone who licks the arseholes of the promoters. You know, in this day and age, you're entitled to use whatever means necessary in the face of corporate bodies, corporate entities, which are looking to fleece you and are saying, if you don't like it, miss it. Don't think I will miss it, actually. In fact, I don't think I'll pay any money for it. I'll stream it and watch it, okay? And don't be a sucker. Don't be a mug. Don't be a simp, all right? Don't feel any shame in taking pockets out of corrupt promoters. And when I say corrupt promoters, I really do mean that. I mean, some of these promoters, some of the shenanigans they get up to, yeah, you know. Don't even get me started on tax avoidance, which I'm quite sure, you know, putting your money in the Cayman Islands or whatever. Don't even get me started on that crap, which a lot of them go into, you know. I say stream team all the way. I say if you want to watch boxing and you haven't got the money, or they're just taking the piss by charging more and more and more for standard fights that should really just be standard on BT Sports or Sky Sports or DAZN, any means necessary to watch those fights free of charge. You know, I'm in my mid-50s now. I've probably spent thousands and thousands of pounds putting it into boxing, small hall shows. I like the small hall shows. I don't go to many of the really big ones, never did do. I've been to the Royal Albert Hall and a few other big places, but generally speaking, I like the small hall shows, the grassroots, because I like watching the youngsters, I like watching the up-and-comers, and you can get entertainment in any level of boxing, even if it's area titles. I've put thousands of quid over the years into it. No promoter is going to take the piss out of me when it comes to my finances, all right? I love boxing and I've given plenty to it. So I say again, stream team all the way, okay? That's my spiel. I've said it before in previous videos, but it bears repeating. Thank you for your time for watching this video. Like it if you like the video. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. I'm not offended. But thank you for your time. Subscribe if you're new. We will speak again soon. Leave your comments below. I'm interested. Bye for now.